When I was first asked to speak at this conference, I was unsure of the value that I could bring to such an impactful organization filled with women whose accomplishments and bank accounts had surpassed my own. And so I did what a researcher does. I outsourced. I asked family members, I asked friends, I asked my mama what she saw in me that I couldn't see in myself. I asked them to paint a picture of me, one that was so vivid that I would soon believe the colors. But I was unsuccessful. Not because they didn't have wonderful things to say about me, not because I didn't have a long list of accomplishments, but because it was as if the Kaitlin that they were referring to was someone that I didn't know. And so I did the number one thing that my very Black, my very Christian, and very Baptist family taught me to do. I prayed about it. And as he always does, God intervened, and in the nick of time because it was right before the conference. But when he intervened, he revealed to me that no matter how ripe the fruits of my labor had become, the fruits of my spirit were rotten. And again, as a researcher always does, I wanted to know why. Why is it that so many young women and young girls, such as myself, felt so inadequate? Why did we feel the need to always be perfect? What was going on at our root to produce such rotten fruit? So I did further research. And the facts revealed that women are twice as likely as men to experience anxiety and depression. Girls as young as 9 years old are suffering over record levels of stress, trauma, and the weight of feeling like they need to be everything for everyone. And so I thought back to my 9-year-old self. What weight was I carrying? And as I was reflecting, I remembered at 9 years old, I experienced my first sexual assault. And from then on, because I had been convinced by society and because I had conditioned myself to believe, I continued. I suffered in my silence because I believed that this is what it meant to be a woman. That this is what society expects of me. That this was living. But I know better now. I know that that was not strength. That was survival. And survival is not the same thing as living. Society has lied to us about what it means to be a woman. Society has told us that to be a woman, we must carry. But God has told us that to be His means to release. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all who are weary and who are burdened." But how often do we take Him up on that invitation? How often do we find rest? So I asked God again, God, reveal to me what you want me to say at this conference. And He brought me back to something my favorite mentor, who just spoke in front of you today, told me. In 1913, there was a reporter reporting live from a boxing match. And at that boxing match, he wrote that a fighter had thrown in the towel to signify defeat. It was an acknowledgement that continuing the fight would only cause further harm. But as women, we are rarely afforded that luxury. As women, we can never throw in the towel. We can never give up. We must suffer in silence. We must place our value on how well we are able to care for others. But let me tell you something that I've learned. I've learned that though we may not be able to throw in the towel, we can fold it. We can take that towel, the very same towel that society is expecting of us to wipe our tears with and keep going. We can fold it, place it down, and walk away. Not because we're tired, not because we're giving up, not because we feel defeated, but we trust that with God, we choose peace over perfection. We choose rest over our suffering. And when we do, we don't just live, we rise. Thank you.